Yeah. Okay. Can I turn myself up in my ears a little bit, please?
You're okay in my ears.
Yeah, I've been sick all week, so I've got a bit... my sinuses are a bit blocked, so I'm a bit noisier than I need to be. That's good for me. How was that for you, Ian Withington?
Yeah, it's pretty good, thank you.
Of Football Canberra fame.
Keeping myself
Fame?
warm this evening.
Fame.
Will be.
Let's go with that. That's fine by me. That's good.
Yeah, that seems okay to me as long as you can hear me.
Good evening and welcome to Stryda Park, the home of Monaro Panthers Football Club on OPC NPL Round 18 action. It's Monaro Panthers against the O'Connor Knights. The Panthers seeking a way to close the gap on Canberra, Croatia at the top of the table, which stands at 9 points prior to this. My name's Russ Gibbs. Ian Worthington is with me. Welcome, Ian. How's your day been, first of all?
Very enjoyable, thank you. Stressful at times, a mixture of results through the day, and yeah, more to go tomorrow.
Well, let's get straight into the action, because there's been an extraordinary match over at the AIS this afternoon, where it finished Tigers FC 4, Gungahlin United 4. Nobody would have predicted that except for me, because I always predict 4-4. Got one right occasionally, but big ramifications for the Tigers title challenge. Drop points. They could have closed the gap on Canberra Croatia to 3. As it is, they've only picked up 1 this afternoon. The game was an absolute belter for those of you that may have seen it. I'm going to try and tell you what happened. Nick Taneski scored early for the Tigers. Then they went 2-0 up with a goal from William Akio. Yoshida Shoki, Giancarlo Daddario and Shoki again then put Gungahlin 3-2 ahead, and Nikola Trajkovski own goal made it 3 apiece. Then Tigers win in front. Josh Milicevic scored with 10 minutes to go, and we all thought, well, that's that then, Tigers are done. William Akio then got himself sent off, which will have further ramifications when they come here on Tuesday night to play the Panthers. He'll be suspended. And Gungahlin went up the other end, and Charlie Daddario whipped home a cracking free kick for his second of the game, 4 apiece. A red card for the Tigers. Everything that could have gone wrong for them did.
Yeah, it did later in the game, didn't it? I was travelling over from our games this afternoon also at the AIS, but got to the Stryda Park for the last 10 or 15 minutes of the Tigers game and against Gungahlin. Saw Will Akio's sending off. I saw Josh Milicevic's goal, which is good to see him back on the pitch and also back on the score sheet. And then I saw a fantastic free kick from Gungahlin United, which levelled the game at your favourite 4-4.
4 apiece, absolute cracker. That means now that Tigers are on 34 points, 5 points behind Canberra Croatia, having played the same amount of games. Canberra Croatia play across the road tomorrow at Queanbeyan City. Gungahlin's point puts them on to 19, doesn't really help them in their push for the top 4, but keeps up their good form. Let's have a look at the Capital Premier League, because there's been some cracking games in there this afternoon. A really important one at the top, 1v2. They went in there level on points, Olympic and Belconnen. Belconnen having played a game fewer, while Belconnen now have their hands on the trophy in the literal sense, because they got themselves another 3 points today, and they've given themselves a great cushion if they can win their game in hand as well. They've won by 4-2 at O'Connor and Close. Thomas Kirklich opened the scoring for Canberra Olympic. Isaac Clements and Micah Ronaldo responded for Belconnen before half-time. Pat O'Rourke made it 3-1. Julian Borgner made it 3-2. And Jake Bishop made it 4-2 to Belconnen in the end. Brilliant result for the Blue Devils, just what they needed.
Certainly was. It was a huge result for them, and been following them a little bit this year, and they're in a great run of form. Like you say, another great victory for them today, and looking to get that top spot.
ANUFC have closed the gap a little bit on Canberra Olympic above them. They've beaten Brindabella Blues by 2-0 this afternoon. Goals at each end of the match. Orlando Jeffrey in the second minute. Max Rawlinson in the 90th gives ANUFC a 2-0 win over Brindabella Blues. Not so good news for Canberra Juventus, though. They've gone down at home to Wagga City Wanderers by 3-2. Thomas Yungai and Maxwell Prest put Wagga 2-0 ahead before Dylan Barreto and Christian Baresi levelled matters up. Wagga, though, went on and won it. Thomas Yungai scored with 12 minutes to go. Nico Alcazar-Stevens, the coach, later sent off for Juventus. Frustrations boiling over. Beaten at home, and probably, I'd suggest, any outside hopes of them winning that CPL crown out the window.
Yeah, definitely, with a Belconnen win as well, like you said before. And, well, first, back to ANU. Jeffrey scores again. He was a boy at Radford, and he was playing like... finished at Radford and played like State League 2 or 3 or something, that he's managed to get himself in the first team. Every time we stand here on commentary, he seems to score goals, Orlando.
Finding the net on a regular basis. The final game in the Capital Premier League, White Eagles 3, West Canberra Wanderers 1. Sergio Lindner on target again for the Eagles early on. Jack Murray made it 2. Juan Diaz-Tellez scored again for West Canberra Wanderers. Since his signing in June, he's got about 7 or 8 goals now for the Wanderers. He's been a heck of a pickup for them. And then Goran Milutinovic rolls back the years and scores the third just past the hour for the Eagles. They've beaten West Canberra Wanderers by 3-1. Good to see that West Canberra Wanderers are very competitive in their games over the last 2 months or so.
Yeah, they're getting a bit closer, aren't they? They're not having the best of times as a club, are they? And from the men's perspective, saw Steve Rowan-Jones actually the other day, and we were speaking more about their women and what a great job he's doing with them. and also just fancying them to get in the top 4. And I know we digress a little bit, but I'm enjoying the way that they're playing football this year.
Absolutely. Well, that's your CPL. That's brought you up to date with those matches. Last night in the Women's National Premier League, Gungahlin United were too strong for Madura FC. Megan Castle was on target there. Derby Whiteley got herself a hat-trick as well. Madeline Percival scored. It finished Gungahlin 6, Madura 0. Tomorrow in the Women's National Premier League, all eyes will be on McKellar Park for Belconnen United, Canberra, Croatia, unless, of course, you're of a Canberra Olympic or Tuggeranong persuasion. Canberra 2 for them at 2 o'clock in the Women's National Premier League. Men's Premier League tomorrow, as I mentioned, over the road. Queanbeyan versus Canberra, Croatia. I'll be there with Steve Forshaw from 3 o'clock. Ugali versus Tuggeranong United down at Solamad, also from 3 o'clock. Under 23's results, and a dropped points for Tigers this afternoon in their race for the title. They were 1-0 up against Gungahlin United until the very last kick of the football, when Sivamash Stevie lobbed the goalkeeper with the final kick of the ball. As soon as the ball hit the back of the net, the final whistle went. Earlier, Joshua Moe had scored in the second minute for the Tigers to put them ahead, but that game finished 1-1. Not the great result for Tigers as they push for the top. And also here, not a great result for the hosts. Monaro Panthers beaten by O'Connor Knights by 4-1. That's everything that you might possibly want to know that's been going on across Canberra, I'd imagine.
Well, there's a few junior games going on today.
I was going to say, if there's anything else you want to know, you want us to tell you about, let us know. I'm sure we've got all the results floating around somewhere. There was big wins as usual. There's lots of goals scored once more, and another match ball for Ian Worthington to hand over as Jordan Faulkner got himself a treble. He
got himself another 3 today as Connell got 2 and Anthony Gergic, who played in 16s and 18s, he went and scored for the 18s as well in a very successful 8-0 victory for Tigers over Wagga City Wanderers.
And I was looking at the goal scorers today in all the games because I do want to do the wrap for the Capital Football website, and I saw Isla Murphy scored for Belconnen boys under 15s in a win. She got the 3rd or 4th or maybe the 5th.
Very good.
So congratulations to her as well. Well, let's focus on this one. Panthers O'Connor Knights. Well, the two teams couldn't have had more contrasting seasons at the moment. O'Connor Knights rooted to the foot of the table, 10 points only from their 16 games. The Panthers, well, they can't go into second place tonight with a win. They can, though, close the gap to the Tigers to 1 point ahead of their summit meeting on Tuesday. Let's have a look at the lineups. Panthers, Paul McCaw's gone with Gelin Memitage in goal. We expect there to be 3 at the back. Fernando, Patrick Mitchell and Marco Gaia, although in which order we will see. Thinking that Ryan Straub and Robert Kachenko will patrol in front of them as the holding midfielders because it's a front-heavy, loaded attacking lineup. For Kenny Mander one side, Nikos Kalfas potentially the other, Conor Minott-Smith as a 10, Stephen Dominici and Daniel Barrett as the front 2, we believe. It is some sort of attacking lineup they've got out there tonight, and it might be a long night for the Knights if they click.
Yeah, definitely. 3 at the back, as we reckon. They chop and change between 3 and 4, don't they? Dominici Barach front 2, Minott-Smith behind that. Very, very exciting. And that's before the bench as well.
Yeah, bench is stacked. Heath Illich, Sam Rosebuck and Zach McLaren, Dylan Deep-Jones, Christian Kreskus. It's some squad that the Panthers have got. O'Connor Knights, well, they're shy of a couple as well tonight, but they've given some opportunities to players in different positions. Cameron Brown will continue in goal for the 5th time this season. The back 4 will see Harry Martin deployed at right back, James Driscoll at left back, Buddy Abbas and Connor Bill as the central defenders. Midfield 2 of Ibrahim Obeid and Nick Dahl are tasked with stopping the Panthers' attack from clicking out wide. Nico Kresic and Michael John. We're expecting Jenna Chiruti and Isosa Ahegi to lead the line in what on paper looks to be a 4-4-2.
It does seem to be a 4-4-2. Ahegi and Chiruti really need to occupy the back 3 at Monaro as soon as they can to put them on the back foot, and I think they might have to be a bit direct to affect that early stages in the game.
The bench will see Marcus Smith, Jack Marjoribanks, Josip Oida, Jack Yankee and Luka Ushibreka. And I hope I got that right. His dad was some striker of some repute. Luka Ushibreka Sr. scored so many goals for Canberra, Croatia down the years, and his son is on the bench tonight for the Knights and might well see an NPL debut in these colours later on. Josh Iser is our match official. Lachlan Lee Chang and Benjamin Cracknell are the assistants. Well, that's the admin done. Ian? Teams have met 11 times in the NPL. Panthers have won 5. Knights have won 5. There's been 1 draw in 5 games at this venue. Panthers have only ever won once. Knights have triumphed 4 times. There has never been a draw. There has been 36 goals scored in the 9 matches. Panthers edged the count, having scored 23 to O'Connor's 13. Most people who follow the Premier League would suggest that we're likely to see a Monaro Panthers victory. Ian, are you differing from those views?
I think that's what the crowd are expecting, and I think that's what a lot of people watching from their lounges are expecting today, and especially with Monaro Panthers being at home, they have been formidable on several occasions already this year.
Don't mind playing at home. Excuse me. A former Panther over the football to get us underway, Geno Cerruti. He's had an in and out season, 6 starts, 7 off the bench. Has managed 5 goals. He's been tasked with the Hegi of leading the line. And it will be interesting to see how the Knights approach this one. Can immediately see that Fernando's gone into the middle of the back 3. Paddy Mitchell to his right. Marco Gaia to his left. And it does look like Kachenko and Strawball patrol just in front of those 3. For Kenny Manda, formerly of the Knights, of course, where he spent most of his career. In the Premier League, of course. Fernando. Nikos Kalfas wins the first free kick, fouled by Ibrahim Obeid.
This would be Nick Kalfas' first start upon his return to the Panthers, would it not, Russ?
That's a good question. I think it is, actually. He's only started 2 games all season across both Monaro and the Tigers. 7 times off the bench. It is his 148th Premier League game, and he is sitting on 49 Premier League goals, I believe, so he's not far off, if I can read my own writing. Which, as you've seen today, Ian, isn't the best.
I'm looking forward to see Christian Kresgeru or whatever.
whatever
you wrote.
Yeah, something like that.
I was asking you for a minute, who's this player?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what. Look, it looks like Kreskas to me. Actually, the K. It looks like Kreslas, doesn't it? Kreslau? I don't know what I've written there.
Could be anything.
Do you know what I wrote?
We do know that Christian Kreskas is on the bench, so
yeah. I mean, I wrote it yesterday. I wrote it yesterday night, so I was a bit tired. Don't do your prep when you've been watching Gladiator 2.
It's not bad, is it?
It was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. Right.
Some good set piece action parts to it. Obeid,
like corners and free kicks.
Yeah, one of those things. Obeid looking to squeeze one through. Cerruti, big, tall and strong.
Big night for him against his former club this evening.
Good turnout again. Ladies' night in the supporters club tonight. By all accounts.
I'll be honest, looking in there, it doesn't look like it. It's just a room full of about 100 blokes.
They're all sat down on the balcony watching the football, of course.
Of course they are, yes. That's why they're here.
And we haven't really spoken since England won the Euros again, have we?
Well, we speak every day.
Well, I mean, on air, yeah, I mean...
every day, about 5 times a day.
Absolutely. I speak to you more than I speak to my wife. Brown sends it forward. But great result.
Excellent, wasn't it? And well received. I think they enjoyed themselves after that victory as well. Over in Switzerland and then back in London, and they went to Downing Street and had a parade in front of Buckingham Palace. Pretty amazing experience for them.
I mean, fairly normal for you.
Sounds like my January.
Get yourself a parade in front of Buckingham Palace, meet the king. Straub steps across.
Calling our new dog Winston, I think, when we get it.
I heard about that. An Italian greyhound, I understand.
Absolutely.
That's going to keep you busy. Mine's a toy poodle, mate. Keeps me, it just does what I want it to do, which is very little. Kachenko striding forward. Off and running. Barac to the right. Dominici on the far post. Kachenko's continued his run down the middle. It's Barac to fire it across. Connor Bill stuck out a strong right leg. Danger's not averted just yet.
Yeah, they thought it was offside, O'Connor Knights, and I did as well. I thought Daniel Barac was coming back on from an offside position. We have got it wrong once or twice before.
Never. You tell me one time.
I can describe a very recent one, but maybe keep it off air for now.
Barach, Kachenko whips it in. Dominici's header. Great save from Brown. Plunging away to claw it out, the first chance of notes, and it took only 4 minutes.
Great delivery. Dominici just checks off and managed to get his header away.
Michael Johns won it back. Driscoll's completed the clearance. Kalfas. Knights pegged back at the moment in their own half. Jenna Cerruti looking to relieve the early pressure. It's not a bad ball forwards. Easily picked off, though, by Gaia. Nika Kresic was supposed to be the target. Here's Kalfas again. Looks like he's got a free roll, let's say, this evening. Going to pick where they're all playing in the front five.
Oh, they just rotate really well, don't they?
The Heggie, he's strong as well. The front two, physically, will cause a few problems, I think, for Fernando and co.
I think that's the aim.
Michael John, he's been in a good vein of form recently. He's scored in his last 2 NPL matches. Has 3 for the season. Unfortunately for Michael John, he's yet to score in a goal for O'Connor Knights, in which they've won. Getting a game, rather, in which they've won 3 goals, all in defeat. Dominici took it in beautifully and then rolled his marker, Abbas, if he wasn't there. It's a wonderful piece of work from Dominici. Conor Minott-Smith for Kenny Manda. Going to dance his way through. And the chip from Barach is brilliant. That's a wonderfully weighted goal from Daniel Barach. Monaro Panthers have taken 6 minutes to make the breakthrough. It's a 107th National Premier League goal and a 14th of the campaign.
Great turn from Dominici, quick feet from Conor Minott-Smith, and rolling Daniel Barach in with a sublime little chip over the goalkeeper's head to put the Panthers 1-0 up.
And on the balance of the first 6 minutes, Ian, you'd have to say that was coming. They had Monaro O'Connor Knights pegged right back in their own half. But when the finish came, it was of sublime quality. The Golden Boot leader for the division, emphasising just why. When it fell to him on that left, you expected him to put that cannon of a left foot through it in, but he went for something a little bit more adept, a little bit more adroit, and it was this wonderfully weighted goal. Unstoppable, really.
Oh, it was a great finish, wasn't it? Such calmness and precision in that area.
Ryan Straub. Incidentally, O'Connor Knight's been led by Christian Metza tonight as the head coach. Nick Tyler is suspended. Another change in the dugout. Probably won't help O'Connor Knights in terms of their cohesion. Minott-Smith. We're on the back foot again here for Kenny Manda.
Getting a lot of space in midfield, Monaro Panthers at the moment. Rotating nicely.
Barach down his favoured left side. Conor Bill away. You get the feeling he's going to have to do that a few more times tonight.
He's going to have to play very well, is Conor Bill, isn't he, to keep Monaro at bay as much as he can.
Panthers are unbeaten in their last 3. They've won 2 and drawn 1. They've now managed to score in their last 11 NPL games. Here's for Kenny Manda again. Minott-Smith, as you mentioned, picked out the right pass, didn't he, to find Barach?
Yeah, he shifted the ball well away from his opponent, didn't he? And then just made that little slide pass and into Daniel Barach, and Barach did the rest from there.
Kalfas will scoop out towards Manda. We'll come back to that goal in a minute, because this man was heavily involved as well, Stephen Dominici. Just how good was the feather-light touch and turn off the throw-in, Ian?
Well, you saw the defender over-committing, didn't he? And just had a little check over his shoulder and went down the side where the defender wasn't, and made it look ever so easy. But then he's got such good awareness and such a good first touch that he's haunted many a centre-back over the years.
A lot of kids around tonight, isn't there? Looking around below us. I mean, this is where the claw is normally, but there's a fair few youngsters around.
Sometimes the claw is packed in there. It's actually got more parents in there tonight, hasn't it?
It has at the moment. Calfas driving through. Exchange with Dominici. The hit from Minot Smith comes off the back of Barach. A lot of parents down there with their young ones. Good challenge back by Ahegi. Elects to go himself. Not normally a bad option from Asosa Ahegi. He is difficult to stop once he gets the full momentum charging.
And that's the way you want Sosa Ahegi going, isn't it? It's like a train when he gets going, and very strong, very quick.
Harry Martin from the unusual position for him of right back.
It's a big challenge for him when Manda and Barach pull out onto that side.
We have had a couple of beautifully balmy days in Canberra over the last couple. It's actually a bit cooler tonight. How was the weather out of the AIS, Ian? Was it?
Very nice.
Looked nice out there.
Yeah, lovely
warm sunshine.
Yep. Field's in pretty decent condition. Some good football played on them this afternoon.
Most people would have been happy with what they saw today, unless, of course, Ali Effie. He was furious when William Akio got himself sent off. Picked up a yellow card himself this afternoon, the Tigers head coach. And they have to come here on Tuesday night, in which is shaping to be a massive game in terms of the title. Canberra Croatia let off the hook somewhat after their surprise loss to Ugali last week. And how good were Ugali to go down to Deakin Stadium and get a 2-1 victory?
Played with a lot of fire in their belly due to recent events, but and that was a great win for them. But
quite sensational goal from Mason Donadell as well, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Struck it extremely well.
They've got a chance against Tuggeranong United tomorrow to push within 4 points of the Gunners if they win. Calfas looking for Ryan Straub. Can apologise in advance to you, Ian, and anybody at home if I have a little bit of a scratchy throat tonight. I've come off of a bit of a cold earlier in the week.
Was it quite man flu?
It was just a throaty cough.
Okay.
It was just a throaty cough that my son kindly gave me from earlier this week. A couple of days ago, I was coughing every 5 minutes. I thought I can't commentate on my weekends. Cleaned itself up though. Nothing some Lemsip can't fix.
No, Lemsip's good, isn't it?
Well, Lemsip and a bit of local honey does the trick.
Manuka honey.
Yeah, this was I'm not sure which one it was.
Manuka honey.
This was some sort of mallow honey from the local IGA. It was nice. Yeah.
Oh, that's very local.
Yeah.
Like Gugong.
No, up at Gugong, yeah. There's some what are they called? Hives around there.
Yeah.
That the bees make honey out of.
Gugong honey.
Yeah, Gugong honey. It's that kind of area anyway.
That's what happens when you go home, isn't it? When you go speak to your wife.
Yeah.
Gugong honey.
Absolutely. Nick Dahl finds Nika Kresic. First chance to see him as an attacking threat. Straub backpedaling. Chiruti looking to tease it off. I'm not sure that was where it's meant to go, but it's found her beads. John and Kresic battling again. In the end, though, Fernando and Straub can get it away as far as James Driscoll. Ibrahim Obeid. Michael John wide for Heggie. And cut inside. It's not a bad one, too.
Sold him a bit short with the set, didn't he? And it was a little bit square, and it gives the chance for Monaro Panthers to come back forward.
Dominici and Barach combining. Kachenko took it in his stride. The challenge from Dahl is deemed legal by Josh Isa.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with the challenge. Just stopped another attack from Monaro.
Nikos Kalfas will take the throw. Barach. It's a strange kind of season now for Connor Knights, isn't it? Bottom of the table. Hopes of the top 4 dashed. Playing for pride more than anything else.
Yeah, which is interesting, isn't it? I mean,
this time last year they'd be in trouble, wouldn't they?
Absolutely they would. Certainly would if they're at the bottom of the league and there's relegation, but not now.
It's interesting to see how they approach these final few games of the season. Good free kick from Abbas to find a Heggie. This pass wasn't good enough. Neither was that from Ryan Straub. 8 goals over the AIS this afternoon. Already 1 here. 17 in 4 games in this afternoon's CPL fixtures. And that's onside. Buddy Abbas has stayed in. Everybody else went up. Stephen Dominici seeking to take advantage. Looking for Manda, who got there. Was he brought down?
Well,
he was.
A penalty, quite clearly a penalty.
Cameron Brown came to get it. Manda got there first, and Brown got lots of Manda. And the Panthers have a spot kick. And we've debated many a spot kick this season, Ian Worthington. Not that one.
Nah, absolutely not. As soon as I saw the keeper flying into him, was like, you could see what was coming next. Silly decision. He's actually going away from goal, is he not, with his touch?
And Daniel Barac has placed the ball on the spot. 14 goals this season, already scored with a sublime chip. What's he got from 12 yards? Cameron Brown seeking to redeem himself. The young O'Connor Knights goalkeeper. It's Barac for Panthers. It's 2-0. Down the middle. Unerring. And Monaro Panthers, 15 minutes into the contest, well, they've got one hand on the 3 points already.
One hand on the 3 points, and another player today who might be taking home a match ball at this rate. 15 minutes, 16 minutes in. 2-0, 2 for Daniel Barac.
You would not be betting against him taking home a match ball from the back of Ian's car.
We've ran out. How many Tigers 18s have got hat-tricks this year with no balls for warm-up?
They have to bring them each week. Abbas has given it away horribly to Nikos Kalfas. Here's Barac. Kalfas again. Minus Smith to stab it through. Connor Bill away. Heggie.
I was reminded by Daniel Poole, he had to take him off last week because he got 2 at risk of him getting a 3rd.
You know you're in a good place when you're taking players off in case they don't score a hat-trick.
Pretty cruel, really.
Yeah.
He's obviously not forgiven me, having reminded me today.
Look, now everybody else knows around town as well.
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
unforgivable.
Yeah.
Do we need to start a GoFundMe page?
Tigers match balls.
Hat-trick heroes.
Yeah,
is that 8 this season?
There's been a few. Oh, you're the man with the stats, probably.
Well, not generally for NPL 18s, but
you follow the hat-tricks closely, though. So I think that could be 8 today. Yeah. Well, it would have been 9 if Daniel would have got his last week.
I mean, anything that costs you money, I'm more than happy to follow.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Yeah, welcome.
I remember that over a glass of Malbec in a few months' time.
And there you go.
Got no money left.
Case in point.
Spent it on Daniel's match ball.
Michael John with his free kick. Knights seeking a way back into the contest. Swung in deeply. Well, one at the far post by a Heggie. He climbed really high. He's looked the most dangerous threat so far for O'Connor.
It's a good header, that, and sometimes they sneak in at the near post.
Fernando. Kalfas. Driscoll was a bit too tight. Knights on a streak of having lost the last 7 matches they've played. They last won in round 10 when they beat Tigers 2-1 at the AIS. Jenna Chiruti scored twice. Since then, it's all been downhill, and it's not started very well here tonight. Fernando. Barac. Great header down. Minot Smith might have hit it. Tried to find Dominici instead.
I think he should have gone himself there. It opened up for him, didn't it?
Wonderful layout from Daniel Balac, who started this game really well. It's almost time for Player of the Year nominations to go out. Well, he's got to be in the running, of course, Daniel Balac, you would think.
I would expect at this club and at this rate he'll be collecting the award as they have in the lounge to our left at the end of the evening. Long way to go yet, though.
Mitchell and Cerruti with the coming together. Like I mentioned, massive game in the Women's Premier League tomorrow. Belconnen versus Canberra, Croatia. Sam Watson will take you through that one at McKellar Park. Tuggeranong United versus Canberra Olympic at Canbar 2. News this week, of course, that Tuggeranong United's reserve grade team in the women's have withdrawn from the competition, which is a bit disappointing. Dominici. So looking further ahead into finals time, which it won't be far away. We've got three sides that are pretty much almost certain to be there in Croatia, Tigers and the Panthers. The fourth to join them. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about that in a moment. Manda to send it in long. Kalfas should be able to keep this in and deliver. Bass away only as far as Dominici, who thought about hitting it first time, then goes for the curler.
Oh, it's a lovely effort, Stephen Dominici.
So the question I want to ask you, first of all, who's joining those three, if it is to be those three? And that's putting you on the spot a little bit.
Yeah, it is, considering half the teams will be sat at home watching now.
Absolutely.
Or in the bar in there, so I'm going to say, don't know yet.
Don't know yet. On current form, Queanbeyan City lead the way, 23 points. Tuggeranong 21. Gungahlin 19 now. Ugali on 12. You'd say they're probably out of it. Not too far away. The other three.
If Queanbeyan win tomorrow, I'm going to say Queanbeyan. What about that for a brave...
That is a brave call against Canberra, Croatia. So therefore, leading on to my next question, which of those four looks the more likely grand final champions for you at the moment, considering the form that they're all putting out on the park in front of us?
I'm not going to say the form to date, because they've had a bit of an off time and they've had the FA Cup to concentrate on, but so far this season...
Come back to that in just a second. Ibrahim Obeid around the outside, palmed in the air and volleyed home by Michael John, who gives his team a glimmer of hope. The work was done by Ibrahim Obeid out wide, and the acrobatics from John has got the Knights back into this.
I'm thinking about the question you asked me, but I'm also looking at how that they got beyond. I think it was Mitchell down the right-hand side, wasn't it? It was a great run. He got to the byline, kept it in, put it across, and you know, for an older player, it was a pretty decent finish, wasn't it?
Gary Memitage palmed it up into the air for him in the end.
Well, he could have done better, couldn't he?
Michael John, as I mentioned earlier, he's now scored in his last 3 matches. 4th goal of the season. He'll be hoping for a bit of better luck in terms of the final scoreline. And a game in which the Panthers will look very much in control of. There's now a hint of jeopardy.
Well, they've been very much in control of, haven't they? And they still are. They were just caught out. They switched off at the back then. The back line, goalkeeper included. And it was a nice finish, but Michael John got himself in the right place at the right time.
It might give the Knights something to build on. Lovely approach work from Ibrahim Obeid as well. He's had a truncated season. He's only played 4 games all year, 2 starts, 2 off the bench. Started with Tigers, I think, and then moved, without playing a game, moved to Gunners. And now here he is at O'Connor Knights. Manda, Dominici. Touch from Isa. Kachenko will fizz it into the bottom corner. Lovely finish. Whistler already gone, though.
I'm not sure if anybody's getting to that, even if the whistle does go. It's a great touch out of his body. He's fizzed it with his right foot right into that bottom corner. Keeper's not getting there.
I think it wouldn't. Once it hits the ref, though, you've got no choice, have you, really?
Oh, I don't know.
the sigh of someone who's seen an awful lot. Marnett Smith. That was the world-weary sigh of a fan of a football team that's got to March and can't wait for the season to end. Your team's played one game, my friends.
And got beat.
Got beat by local rival Stockport County.
And I wouldn't mind if it was a club I used to play for. Why we makes up all the time?
Yeah. All of a sudden, your former club that you played for beat the club that you support.
That's it.
Yeah.
Win-win.
Well, in your case, it wasn't, was it? It was a loss.
It depends which way. I was really proud for my former team that they won against the team I support. So, no. Not the best start, although they did play well, and they played Plymouth Argyle this evening, or in the morning.
That's Bolton Wanderers, for those of you who are sitting at home wondering what we're talking about, in North West Counties League Division 1, is that on it? Something like that?
They're not that good.
Barach. This is for Kenny Manda. We like to keep an eye on players from Canberra playing abroad, and last week I'm very pleased to hear that Campbell Reid came off the bench for Trafford FC in the FA Cup extra preliminary round and scored the winning goal against Barnoldswick in a 2-1 victory to put them through the oldest cup competition in the world, and a Canberra boy off the bench to score the winner. So congratulations to Campbell.
Pretty amazing. He came on with half an hour to go at 1-1. He got the winner. Like I've said in the past, you get round to round 3 of that, and
Straub into the area. Yep.
And that's when you get Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, and all of those teams coming into the competition. It's finals at Wembley, and Campbell's had the not only played in it but got the winning goal.
Congratulations to him and the family. Kalfas, Dominici, Marnett Smith, and incidentally, for an extra preliminary round FA Cup tie, the attendance was 404 at that match, which was something like the 12th or 13th highest in the country in the early rounds of the FA Cup last week. For those of you that care about that kind of thing.
And those that know Gabriel Cole, he also played last week as well, didn't he?
He did. That was going to get into that next one. Stockport Town. They weren't quite so fortunate, were they, I don't think?
No, I think they lost 2-1 from memory. And Gabriel didn't score.
Did not. For those of you that watched him play an awful lot over here, that won't be a surprise. He wasn't a prolific goal scorer, was he? It's not his game.
He was a holding midfield player over here. He's actually playing centre-back in England.
Get up there, big fella.
Yeah, he quite likes it. He quite likes a bit of a tussle.
Yeah. Spotted him join himself. So there you go, a couple of Canberra boys playing in the FA Cup. If you know of any Canberra-based players or Canberra players from Canberra that are doing well overseas in maybe more obscure divisions, let us know. I'd like to keep tracks on the locals and how they're doing. Meanwhile, back closer to home, we're coming up to the half-hour mark. Stephen Dominici, acres of space to glide forward, but showed too much of it to Buddy Abbas, who might have done likewise to Ryan Straub.
It's got a bit scrappy in the last few seconds. There's a big switch there that wasn't seen. That would have got O'Connor nights out. Goodness me, I thought that was going to go behind him.
So did I for a moment. Might have presented Barach with the easiest goal of the season. They still might. Flag goes up, though, against Danny Barach. Well, Nikos Kalfas won it back. And O'Connor Knights dodged one there. Very much so. 2 previous meetings this season. Panthers have scored 10 goals. Only conceded once. The problem for the Knights has been defensively. In their last 7 games before tonight, Ian, they've conceded 3 or more in 6 of those games. Meanwhile, here's Driscoll.
Good recovering from Ryan Straub.
Mitchell's ball forward is picked off. You're not winning football matches if you can see 3 or more goals, are you? Very rarely. And as a defender, a former defender yourself and now a coach, these kind of things will hurt you.
It's a bit of a pet hate that you can concede that many goals.
I mean, one's too many from where you're stood normally,
Absolutely,
isn't
it is. Has to end in 0.
Bass used his strength to go forwards. Kresic has won it back in midfield. Fernando away. Nick Dahl won it. Breaks for mine at Smith. Now finds Kalfas. And he can break forwards. Barac to the left. Dominici to the right. Maybe 1 or 2 touches too many from the Greek winger, but he's going to get it back again. Nikos Kalfas, Barac, Dominici, and mine at Smith. That's brilliant. Quite wonderful football from Monaro Panthers. They have carved the Knights apart, and they restore their 2-goal advantage.
What a goal that is. Great creative play. Quick feet again across that. It could have been a penalty in the first instance. We again on Conor Minott-Smith moving the ball. Comes out onto the left-hand side, and the sweet finish to the goalkeeper's right. Excellent goal, Monaro Panthers.
And Conor Minott-Smith continues his rich vein of form in front of goal. He's now scored in 5 successive National Premier League games. And O'Connor Knights, when they play like that, well, Monaro Panthers rather, when they play like that, they're irresistible, Ian. It was one-touch football, beautifully done. Any number of them might have had a hit. Stephen Dominici in the end, teeing up Conor Minott-Smith. And Manda's got a lucky break. And it's found its way to Barac, and they're flooding forward again in huge numbers. Abbas up, but not very far on away. Nick Dahl. Here goes Cerruti at the other end.
It was fabulous ball movement. It was great combination play with a fantastic finish from Conor Minott-Smith.
From a neutral perspective, watching it, the kind of goal you purr over. Sensational from the hosts. And with quarter of an hour to go in the first half, they are now back in a position of comfort. And they look hungry for more. Barac to peel in around the back of Connor Bill. Delivery is over the head of Abbas. Driscoll away. Kachenko. Good to see Robert Kachenko back in action. Back for a couple of weeks now after that hefty collision. Nikos Kalfas in the mood.
He certainly is. When things are going his way, he looks great.
Straub. Kalfas again. And I guess that's the frustrating thing about the enigma that is Nikos Kalfas, isn't it? These kind of performances, when he's on. Almost unplayable.
Things are definitely going his way this evening so far.
And Connor got themselves back into it through an unlikely source in terms of creation a while back with Ibrahim Obeid creating the goal. Heggie's not going to give this up. Done really well there. Goal for Obeid. Good to slide one through from Cerruti.
Yeah, there was no movement ahead.
Paul McCall must be very happy with the way his side have started this. Some ball from Straub over the top as well. Manda's got the pace to get there. Bass scoops it away. Marco Gaia, square for Fernando. Dominici waits for the whistle to go, wins the free kick. Panthers will look back in this season to do 2 drop points here against Ugali when they needed a 94th minute equaliser to get them a 1-1 draw, and 2 defeats in the Clearwaters derby against Queanbeyan City. Lost twice, 2-1 to the noisy neighbours. That's 8 points that they would have thought at the start of the season might have been theirs, and that would have put them within a point.
Yeah, we're speaking with Alex Tyne about that before, about you know, how well they played in certain games, but you know, the key games where they've dropped those vital points in, such as the Queanbeyan City 2 games, especially the one at home.
mentioned earlier in that Ali Effie cut a very frustrated figure in that 4-4 draw. You just brought it to our attention that he cut such a frustrated figure that after the final whistle, he's picked himself up a second yellow card and a subsequent red.
Yeah, right.
So he's suspended for Tuesday night here as well.
Yeah, OK. Well, I mean, there'll be more to that story than obviously Ali just getting a red card. His temperament isn't usually questioned whatsoever. So something drastically wrong has gone on to warrant that. But you're right, he won't be able to be in charge if that's the case on Tuesday evening here against Monaro Panthers. But
something's tipped him over the edge.
Yes, and it would be something pretty big. No doubt we will find out further down the line, but not good news.
Conor Smith. Kachenko spins away from his marker, well recovered from Obeid. So just on that, you're just for clarity, you're the technical director of Tigers Juniors. Who's the assistant coach to Ali Effie and might be in charge on Tuesday?
Well, that's a decision that a club's going to make over the next coming days. There's a few assistant coaches, with Derek, with the 23s as well. So we'll see if his availability. But that's something the club is going to digest over the next few days. Who knows? I might see you again on Tuesday.
Well, you might too. I was just going to say, it's not dissimilar to the O'Connor Knights situation we have with Christian Metzer here tonight, with Nick Tyler serving his suspension.
I've not been over that side since I left Monaro Panthers, so for a game, who knows?
Might get yourself sacked twice at Stryda Park.
What, by both clubs?
Driscoll.
Yeah, you look after that cough, are you being cheeky?
Driscoll got away and delivers it well. Straub was there.
Well done, Ryan Straub. You didn't finish asking me the tip for the grand final win.
So much has happened since then. We will go back to that in a minute. And you're just going to say Tigers.
I am going to say Tigers, yeah.
No point finishing the conversation then.
Whether it's me or Ali on the bench, they're still going to win.
You can see that on Tuesday nights. I think it's I'll check the kickoff time for you, but I thought it was 7:30, but sorry, 6:30, I believe. Let's have a quick look on Tuesday for you. 7 o'clock here at Stryda Park. Panthers Tigers, battle of the big cats, and with a lot on it. And with two teams full of attacking intent, should be a cracker. Unless you get in charge of them, in which case they'll play 6 defenders.
And win 1-0. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Chiruti.
1-0 smash and grab. Win's a win.
Absolutely.
You can't score 8 every week, mate.
You love defensive, mate, and I don't mind it as well.
Well, you know what the best part of the 8-0 win today is, don't you?
The nil.
The nil.
Well,
absolutely fantastic.
We were talking the other day to someone about this, to young Grace New, the goalkeeper for Madura. Kept a clean sheet in a 0-0 draw. And talking about the opposition don't score, well, you don't lose. Balach away again. Fernando putting the pressure on. The free kick's given to O'Connor Knights, and the bench is up in arms about Fernando just stabbing the ball away. And he's going to have a chat, Josh Iser, with the central defender. Who's going to give him a yellow card to Fernando. 3rd of the campaign. Can O'Connor Knights conjure up something in the time remaining in this first half? So just to close the door on the question, who's winning the grand final?
Tigers.
Thank you very much. There you go.
Yeah. Are you going to sell your magazines for that one, Russ?
Nah, I don't do that anymore. Ball into the area, good sake. You can't get in there, mate. It's historical articles. Maybe in 10 years' time. We'll do a story on gardening leave. There was a guy that Manchester United got who was on gardening leave. They were the guy from Newcastle. Came in as technical director for about 2 months. Paid him an absolute mozza and then sacked him.
What a great job.
Yeah. Was that whatever he was, head of recruitment or I don't know. Such a song and dance about him coming in, and then sacked him. Fickle business, football sometimes, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Here goes Driscoll. Good run from Michael John. Can he get this shot away? He can. Oh, it's hit the inside of the post.
Isn't he?
It had Memitaj sprawling.
Fantastic movement. Early hit across. He's so unfortunate not to see that hit the back of the net.
And here go Monaro at the other end. Minot Smith with the pitching wedge. It's cleared only as far as Dominici. He's got Kachenko and acres of space in front of him. That's where it's gone, and that's some tackle from Buddy Abbas. Advantage played, though, says the referee. Manda to pull it back for Dominici, who siphons home another. For Kenny Manda, the creator. Steve Dominici, the destroyer. At 5 minutes before half-time, the Panthers have 4.
Such a composed finish. Stephen Dominici oozes class. He just pulled back a little bit from Manda, who cut the ball back. Manda just doing his right back all ends up, to be honest with you. And but then the composed pass and the great finish.
184 times Stephen Dominici scored in the National Premier League. And Monaro Panthers have got the bit between the teeth here tonight. And the way they're playing at the moment, Ian, it's as many as they want it to be.
And it was pretty ruthless the way that, you know, it's come off the post at the other end with Michael John, who's desperately unfortunate. Brilliant play from Conor Minot-Smith to get on the switch, and Manda and Dominici did the rest, and here they go again.
Kalfas, Billaway. Ironically, just as we were saying about how football can be fickle, there's a prime example. Inches away from 3-2 at one end, straight up the other end, and it's 4-1. And do you know what? I want to say game over, but I'm never game to do so, because we all know it might end 4-4.
Well, not when there's a 4-4 on the cards.
Absolutely.
2 4-4s today. What are the odds on that?
That would be quite impressive, wouldn't it? Is that a double Desmond?
Double Desmond 2-2. It's a quadruple Desmond if it's 4-4-4-4. Double Desmond. I'm having that.
Connor Knights. Little shell shots. It's been a tough introduction to NPL football for the young goalkeeper Cameron Brown. Here goes Chiruti peeling away. Fernando comes across. Mitchell, he's turned himself into trouble here. Might have got a bit lucky, Patrick Mitchell.
He's had a couple of problems down that right-hand side. For the most part, he's been great, but they have got in a couple of times behind him. Still padded up with that right knee, isn't he? Padded up.
I know what you meant.
We'll start on the egg soon. That got some...
the eggs.
The egg at Tuggeranong.
I meant to ask Mitch Stevens if anything had been said about that. Poor Nick Emmanuel, the egg. That's his own teammates dropping him in it, isn't it? Fernando read the intentions of it, Heggie. Manda. It's not a bad ball. Has Kalfas stayed onside here?
I didn't think so.
Looked offside, didn't he, from the angle that we were at, but we are on a slight variance to everybody else. Most importantly, the assistant. Obeid. I'm not sure it was meant for Cerruti. Straub finds Manda. Patrick Mitchell. Kaufas. Away from Driscoll. Finds Minot Smith. Took up a really intelligent pocket of space. Kachenko steps away from Obeid. The burst of acceleration and the tackle needed to be timed by Abbas. If you're O'Connor Knights, Ian, and from putting your coaching hat on at the moment, are you a little bit worried with the ease in which the Panthers players are just slipping past potential challenges here?
Well, first of all, credit to Monaro Panthers. Their shape and how expansive they are is really stretching O'Connor Knights, and they've got that confidence, and they look fit and they look quick. And once they get on the attack, it's very difficult to deal with. So O'Connor Knights have got to deal with the physicality and the speed of how Monaro Panthers are moving the ball and moving themselves. And they just look a bit disjointed, O'Connor Knights. What to do about it? Well, you're losing 4-1. But the connectivity there is Geno Cerruti gets on the ball, and, you know, I know he wins a free kick, but the opportunity to pass the ball and move the ball a bit quicker.
As we enter stoppage time at the end of the first half, Mitch Stevens has just sent us a message and said the best thing about the egg comment is that Romeo Jambrek literally made the whole thing up, and that nobody called him Egg, but now everybody does. So he's now got a new nickname, courtesy of Romeo Jambrek making that up last week and us just carrying it on.
Well, we need a deeper story to why Romeo made this up.
I mean,
why did he just call him Egg?
Just off the top of his, you know, just like he thinks. So if you want to make up a nickname for someone, feel free to just let us know.
I mean, there's worse nicknames than Egg, I suppose.
Absolutely. Remember, it's
I'd
a family.
to know Romeo's justification.
Family show. Barad.
He's offside. That's
yeah, Kachenko's offside. It's family show, so be careful.
Well, we might not be able to repeat some of the things.
What was your nickname as the half-time whistle?
It depends what the fans were saying in the stands of some of the games I played at. And I'm definitely not repeating that as we get to half-time, Russ Gibbs, and talk about the first half.
There might well be some crosswords and some strong words in that O'Connor Knights changing room at the break, Ian Worthington, because at Monaro Panthers, we've had it mostly their own way. A double from Daniel Balach early on, including a penalty after 16 minutes. Michael John pulled one back from the Knights. Conor Minot Smith and Stephen Dominici have made it 4 by half-time, and the Panthers have been worth every goal.
Well, they've been clinical. They've been clinical in front of goal. They've taken the chances really well. The way that they've moved the ball and some of that combination play and quick movement on the edge of the box has been absolutely fantastic. Well deserved of their lead.
Absolutely are, and they might add to it in the second half. Stryda Park is enjoying itself under the lights on Saturday night at half-time here. It's Monaro Panthers 4, O'Connor Knights 1. They lead at the break by 4 goals to 1. No changes from either side that I can see at half-time. My name's Russ Gibbs. Ian Worthington is with me again. Ian, just out there in the supporters club, chatting to the Minot Smithies, and eating the giant arancini balls, which are pretty impressive, to be fair, aren't they?
It's a great feed as ever in there, isn't it? We get well looked after, very welcoming, and they're happy, probably because the team's playing so well.
Yeah, they can't really complain with what they've seen so far. If they can, they're a little bit churlish. They've seen their team score 4 times in the first half. And, depending on how they start the second, there might be some more to come in.
They're not a team to take the foot off the gas, man. You've just probably put the curse on them with that.
Yeah, Mitchell's giving it to Cerruti.
No danger there.
Well, it's a bright start, though, for O'Connor Knights if they're looking to seek a way back into the contest. They've now shipped 56 goals this season, which is the worst in the competition, by quite some way now. Plenty of work to be done at the end of the season, I think, for the Knights as to where they're going to build for next year.
Well, yeah, I mean, we know that they lost the goalkeeper at the end of last season, Severans. They lost Lachlan Fields, who I think is an outstanding centre-back. They lost him. When I say lost, moving on to pastures new and to further in their own individual careers. And they've never really recovered from there.
Players they brought in, some have disappeared again. Kelly Mander started his season with the Knights, of course, now running down the flank for the Panthers. And it was him that won this free kick, which Ryan Strawber's gone for goal with. Rather ambitious.
Let's be honest as well, Russ, the coaching team that they had were magnificent, weren't they, for 3 seasons. And the Trinix did a fantastic job with building O'Connor Knights, getting O'Connor Knights promoted, and of course then getting them into the Football Australia Cup run where they faced MacArthur last season. It was a pretty emphatic run that they had as a coaching team as well.
Yeah, won the CPL, then won the league, and then won the cup. Everything there was to win. Did put a trophy in the trophy cabinet at the start of this year, didn't they, in the Charity Shields? Before it all fell apart. Here's Connor Minot-Smith, who scored a beautifully worked goal in the first half. 5 successive games. Dozen goals in the NPL to his name. Had a spell in Melbourne, of course, before answering the Panthers' clarion call. That ball might find a Heggie with the angle it's gone. Gaia's quick.
Done very well, Marco Gaia.
Manda needs to be a bit careful here. Finds Fernando. Straub. Barach. Kalfas. Barach is going to get on the end of this. Dominici's inside him. Second bite of it. And Dominici's offside.
Great forward pass from Nick Kalfas.
It's a lovely little chip ball through, wasn't it? Connor Minot-Smith. Straub. The problem is when you're 4-1 up at half-time, Ian, the job's pretty much done, isn't it, if you don't do anything silly?
I was laughing at how you started this sentence. The problem with being 4-1 up. I don't see one, no. I don't see a problem whatsoever.
What I'm trying to say is that It's difficult to maintain that level of intensity when you're 4-1 ahead, and you know that as long as you don't make a mistake, the points are in the bag. Can they up themselves for the start of the second half is the long-winded way I'm trying to find an answer to.
You keep your defensive structure, and I'm going back to my old defending stuff again, aren't I?
Well,
you keep your defensive structure. You don't want to concede, and you're going to win the game 4-1 at least.
Somebody, a team not too far away from us, was 4-1 up at half-time today that you were aware of in one of the lower NPL grades and ended up on the wrong end of a 10-goal thriller. So it's not insurmountable. Has been known to happen.
At any level. You know, games are finished 4-4, 6-4, you know, whatever happens throughout junior football and senior football. You know, there's some crazy turnarounds at the highest level of football.
Perhaps most memorably, Arsenal being 4-0 up against Newcastle. A few moons back. Or many moons back now, maybe.
And what happened? What was the outcome?
4-4, obviously. Obeid. Driscoll. Cerruti. Touch was good. Mitchell's defensive work likewise.
Good defending, Paddy Mitchell. You miss time those, you give a penalty away, so it's very well defended.
Crowd not as big as it has been in recent weeks for a Panthers game. Still a fair few dotted around in front of us.
Stretched out a bit, the claw are right down the opposite end.
Yeah, with the drum waiting to see some goals. Over on the far side, Zach McLaren and Sam Rusbarkin, it looks like, going through the motions. So Paul McCaw is obviously not particularly pleased. There's the third substitute there as well, which we'll look at in a second.
But the other thing is he's just looking to rotate his team ahead of a game on Tuesday night as well.
Got a match on Tuesday, do they?
I might have, yeah.
Panthers Tigers right here.
They've got... Oh, and Dylan Deep-Jones is a bit of a cameo going on over there as well. It looks like
here we go.
Three
Let's see how the changes are going to be made. Dylan Deep-Jones, Zach McLaren, Sam Rusbarkin, it looks like. Nikos Kalfas is one making way.
Mitchell Kalfas, and is it Stephen Dominici just coming off on this near side?
Yeah, Mitchell Kalfas, Dominici. Dylan Deep-Jones for Patrick Mitchell. Zach McLaren for Nikos Kalfas and Rusbarkin for Dominici. There'll be a little change in shape, you might think.
Robbie out onto the right, or well, left or centre, or the other 10 positions that he can play on the field. I wonder whether they're going for, I don't know, 4-3-3 here or something.
We'll see what they've done here. Maybe it's a nod towards Tuesday. Dylan Deep-Jones back is a welcome boon for the Panthers. Steve Dominici had a decent night tonight, I thought. Created one of the goals. Got on the score sheet himself. Nick Dahl striding through. Michael John's already got one. Well, that moved. That's a decent save by Memitaj.
I couldn't tell you whether that took a deflection or it just shifted as it was hit. Certainly moved, though, didn't it? It looked like it was going to Memitaj's right and ended up going very straight. Or straight to the middle of the goal.
Decent stop in the end from the goalkeeper. So Robert Kachenko playing up top. Here he is. McLaren, first touch was heavy. Dahl. Bill. Obeid. Forced Abbas to go a long way back to collect that, did Ibrahim Obeid. Michael John. Ball taken in deflection. It's fallen rather kindly for Jenna Cerruti, who's in here and finishes well. Super finish from the former Panther on his own stomping grounds. Jenna Cerruti wraps that in the top corner, and O'Connor Knights have it back to 4-2.
Very impressive goal. His first touch across the defender. The power and the pace that he can bring, and then the lovely left-footed finish. Very good goal from Jenna Cerruti.
Half a dozen for the league campaign for him. A goal greeted by near silence at Stryda Park. Good finish though, wasn't it? Got a bit lucky with the break. Found his way to scoring his 22nd goal.
Took full advantage of it though.
Deep Jones to send one forward. Bill high up into the air. Manda. Kresic. And for Kenny Manda. Well, a day for goals in the Premier League. 14 of them in 1.5 games so far. And again, from a position of relative comfort at 4-1, all of a sudden 4-2 looks a little bit more twitchy.
They just always look capable of going and getting the next goal, though, Monaro as well, though, don't they? So there's a good chance they can go and get the 5th. Big challenge for O'Connor Knights here.
Straub. Well, I guess from a coaching perspective, that's the danger that the risk that you run, I guess, Ian, if you make wholesale changes at once.
Yeah, there is. It can unsettle your shape a little bit, but having said that, the quality that Monaro have brought on shouldn't take too long to get that together.
There's that sweet spot, isn't there, about 4 or 5 minutes when new players come on where they're not quite up to the speed of the game, and O'Connor have taken advantage of that. And they'll seek to get themselves back into it again. There's lots of time left, of course. Abid. That'll be a free kick.
Yeah, mistimed. Looks like he's picking a yellow up as well. Is it James Driscoll over that far side?
It is on the far side. James Driscoll's 4th yellow card of the season, by my reckoning. Which will see him suspended for the Knights' next outing. If that is, in fact, the case. Not much doubt about the card. Next game for the Knights, of course, is Queanbeyan City at O'Connor. What can they do with this free kick? Connor minded Smith over the dead ball. Looking to restore the 3-goal cushion. Plenty of Panther shirts in the area. Swung into the danger zone. Manda tried to turn it around the corner. Now the break might be on for a Heggie. Kresic. John.
Good spell of possession here for O'Connor Knights.
Bill. Martin. Straub came across. Well, credit to O'Connor, they've come out in the second half and they're giving this a right go. Bill, Abid, Martin, Cerruti, Gaia with the challenge. Draws the foul in the end. Reminder that tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock at High Streets. Just over the road from here, Queanbeyan City versus Canberra, Croatia. Meanwhile, down at Solomad Stadium in Griffith, Ugali versus Tuggeranong United. Tuggeranong United versus Canberra Olympic in the National Premier League Women's Competition at Canberra, and Belconnen versus Canberra Croatia in that same competition at McKellar Park.
See what, there's some top players, isn't there, on show for the Belconnen Canberra Croatia game in the women tomorrow. Some very, very talented players, and it should be a great game, that.
Start of a big couple of weeks in the women's competition. On Wednesday next week, Canberra Croatia versus Canberra Olympic is from the AIS. That's a big game in the scheme of things. And the following Wednesday, Belconnen United versus Canberra Olympic, I believe at Woden Park. So a big couple of games as the challengers look to take down the runaway leaders. All of it, of course, on Capital Football's YouTube channel on the OPC NPL.
Looking forward to the CFC Olympic game at AIS in a midweek.
Should be a good one. Off the back of a match here on Tuesday night, which will be decent as well. Driscoll. John. Fancies a hit, and that moves as well. They're certainly not lacking in confidence, O'Connor, going forward.
He's got a few of his shots off tonight, Michael John.
Very much a confidence player, isn't he? Plenty of chances down the years, plenty of matches. 163 of them, including tonight. 55 goals. Decent return, that. Chiruti.
Tackled each other then in the middle of the park. Dylan Deep-Jones stepped in extremely well.
He's found Barach on the overlap. Good ball in. That could go anywhere. Might come for Minot Smith. Will come for McLaren. Decent save by Brown. Stuck a leg out, the young goalkeeper.
But they've got a counter-attack here if they actually... Josh Isa sees that as a foul on the turn and nothing more.
It's surprising once he calls the foul that maybe there wasn't a card. For Fernando. He's picked up 2 yellow cards this season. Chilean centre-back. Barach. Clips one for Manda, who's quick enough to get away from Harry Martin here. This will be problems for the Knights. That's really well covered.
Done well there, Martin. It was a fabulous ball from Daniel Barach.
And Harry Martin, exceptional defensive work. Chiruti tried to use his physicality, and Fernando wasn't there.
Yeah, he tries to bump Fernando, and then Fernando just moved out of the way, which Chiruti then lost his balance and went to ground.
And Panthers have won themselves a free kick as a consequence. Fernando's run forward. If you missed it earlier, wins for Belconnen United, Walker City Wanderers, ANU, and White Eagles in the CPL today. And the game of the AIS in the National Premier League finished Tigers 4, Gungahlin 4. Gunners have been involved in some high-scoring matches recently. Amanda ran into Obeid, but then does well to snap back into the challenge. Wonder if the Knights will look at their bench. It's a young one. Jack Marjoriebanks, Josip Uida, Jack Yankee, Anuka Ishibreka. Nothing to lose, I guess, is there?
No. Josh Isa defending really well for Monaro Panthers.
He's had some cracking touches tonight,
hasn't he?
He's stepped
in brilliantly well on a couple of occasions. Yeah.
That's 3 or 4 now. I'll tell you about the goal-scoring feats in a moment, because we love our goal-scoring feats. Sent to me by Steve Forshaw. Marco Gaia goes in. Concerning a young Belconnen United player by the name of Sam North.
Oh, decent player.
Well, he's had himself a bit of a day. In the under-16s, he's bagged himself 6 in that game, and then followed up in the under-18s and had a first-half hat-trick as well. So he's got himself 9 goals in 2 games today. That's not bad, is it?
He's a good young player, and one to look out for, that's for sure.
He's had a couple of big wins.
Yeah, they would have played West Canberra Wanderers today, if memory serves me right.
That is correct.
So we probably don't need to share the actual score. I know when the Belconnen women win heavily, they just put win next to their score, which is very dignified and honourable of them, rather than throwing it in the face of the opponent that they may have beaten heavily.
Well, it might have only been 6-0. He might have got them all.
Really?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
And even though it said Sam North on it, it's actually Sam York, the name of the young boy. So apologies for that. 6 goals for Sam York, and then 3 in the 18s. He's done very well today. Steve's thrown us up the path with the wrong name there.
I knew what you meant.
I know you meant as well,
Yeah.
but I just read what he's written.
I'm fully aware of the season that he's having, but yeah. You'll say it's predictive text, but you know, come on, Steve. You'll be telling us Leeds are going to win the league next as well.
He's not that bad.
Surely he can't be. Maybe the Championship next season.
Premier League kicks off next week. So congratulations to Sam York. He got himself the treble.
He got himself 9, didn't he?
Well, he's 6 in one, 3 in another. Dawit Yemba also got himself 4 goals in the under-18s for Belconnen United today.
Does all right, Darwitt. Played at Radford for a couple of years. Central midfield player.
Back in 4. That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Likes to get himself forward.
Does like to get himself forward, likes to attack for sure, yeah.
Some names to look out for the future, maybe. The Blue Devils ranks, maybe in the Premier League next year, who knows? Great feats, Minot Smith, dancing through, couldn't find the finish, what would have been a wonderful move.
Excellent from Connor Minot Smith. He loves running with the ball forward into those areas, and unfortunate for him that he couldn't get the goal.
And Steve Forshaw just said to me, it is York. We are correct. Here goes a Heggie. The grand old Duke, perhaps. In towards Cerruti. Or the grand young Duke of York. Keep it. Remember the name, though. I'm sure you will.
I'll see him in about 2 weeks, so... So
you'll be hoping he won't be scoring that day.
He can have a day off if he wants.
Dylan Deep-Jones. Kachenko forwards. Barach, who after 16 minutes looks like he's on a hat-trick, hasn't looked likely since then. He's not getting 20 positions. Just been involved in the build-up.
Did Freddie Kushnick score at all for
Belconnen
today?
asking.
He's another one who's having a very good season for Belconnen United 18s.
Does he play for Belconnen?
He does.
I don't think he was on the score sheet. Maybe he didn't play. Oh, he did. He got 1 goal. There you go. Dallas Santa Lucia got himself 1 as well.
Excellent.
There was a few.
Well, for Dallas.
Yeah, not ideal for the Wanderers. Who at senior CPL level have a bit of a goal machine of their own in Juan Diaz Tellez. Scored again today. Midway through the second half. To make this one more of a contest, the Knights will need the next. And they're certainly not giving up the ghost to Heggie. Obeid, Martin, Bill, Dahl. Looks like Christian Kreskus is about to come on. See, I can read that from my notes.
I can see him from here. I don't need to see his name.
McLaren finds Manda.
Put his bib back on.
Might be for Kenny Manda that makes way. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Like for like change.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do, yeah. There would be no surprise there.
Guy's ball is a cracker, but Bill Woods at full stretch. Comes for mine at Smith. Kachenko squeezes one in. The deflection might help Balac, and that was an important header from Bill. And a well-placed one, too. It's that time of the week again where I talk random sports, you know, that we generally let people know what's going on in the world of sport. Exciting is that the darts is in Wollongong this weekend.
Oh, is it this weekend?
It is. They started yesterday.
World darts. There's some top players
PDC
there.
has a narrow win for Luke Littler over a Kiwi.
Oh, he's over here, is he?
Yeah, Luke Humphreys won as well against an Australian. All the big names won their games last night. Don't know how they're doing tonight, of course. We'll check that out when we get home. We'll have a bit of darts. And the Wollongong Masters, I think it is, PDC World Series.
Yeah, it's part of the World Championships, isn't it? Well, not the World Championships, yeah. PDC, I'll stop talking. It's about something I have no idea about.
Love your darts.
Darts around Christmas is the best.
The World Championship.
The World Champs.
Yeah. Goes
from the Ali Pali.
From the Ali Pali, yeah. Goes for quite some time, doesn't it? Good ball over the top for Manda. Used his strength to get it in, and was he brought down there? Waved away by Josh Iser. We should mention last week the Lions lost to Australia in the third test. Not that it mattered. They won the series by 2-1. Championship starts tonight. Well, it started last night, didn't it? Realistically.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
Southampton versus Wrexham tonight in the English Championship. Balac, Manda. Flag stayed down. Thought for a moment it might have gone up. Well won by Abid.
And ball from Nick Kalfas down on the stand.
So they're having a chat with people. Yeah. Man of the people, Nick Kalfas. Here comes Kreskus.
Loves the fans, doesn't he? Loves the fans.
It is for Kenny Manda to come off as well. And for those of you who love obscure sports, ESPN have been doing their weekend of absolute madness over the last week. And repeating it all. Wiffle ball, pop darts.
Dog surfing?
Dog surfing was on. Dodgeball.
Yeah.
That was just extreme archery.
Go on, tell me. What is extreme archery? People will want to know what that is.
Basically, it's two teams of about 4, and they have foam-covered arrows, and they fire them off at each other from the distance of about 15 metres away. And if you catch it, it gets points. If it hits you, you get points. It's all randomness. Yeah, extreme archery, apparently. Slippery stairs. That was a good one, where people have to climb up these slippery stairs. Here's mine at Smith in the penalty area. Kachenko.
Yeah, slippery slope if O'Connor can see it again.
Well, it's like a metaphor for football, isn't it? You lose a couple, you slip down the table. There you go. That's enough of random sport for this week. If you've watched any random sport and you want us to mention it, let us know. It's nothing to do with horses. Although there is one random sport I'll tell you about with a horse the other day that I watched. There's a chance for Kreskus. It's this from one of the Eastern Asian companies where I think it's like a game of polo but on horseback with a sheep's head, and they have to throw it into a big basket. You can see it on YouTube.
Very traditional historical game, that.
Apparently
I have heard of that
you have heard that one. There you go.
Yes, I have. Yeah. And it's been going for hundreds of years.
Yeah, it has, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a random one I saw on the TV. Kreskus spins one in.
I thought you were going to talk to me about hobby horse racing. Have you seen that?
Oh, look, I have. Yeah, that's a different level. Again, do yourself a favour and Google that on YouTube.
Oh, if you've got nothing better in your life to do, hobby horse racing is where it's at. It's people on a horse, on a stick, jumping over fences.
It's some sort of TV. It's marginally more entertaining than watching us. Definitely more entertaining than listening to us.
Absolutely it is. But
do yourself a favour and have a look. Just over half an hour to go. 15 minutes to go, plus stoppage time.
World Championships. Hobby horse. Search. YouTube. People turn us off now.
Or get it on your phone if you're watching on your screen. Bookmark it for later. It's one of those things to watch just before you go to bed about 11 o'clock when you're a bit tired. O'Connor still not going away here. Deep Jones. At the moment, we're in a kind of phony war where the Panthers are holding O'Connor Knights at arm's length without being able to strike the killer blow, which may come soon. It may come in this attack with Robert Kachenko. Can't quite keep it in. And this goes back to what I was talking about at the start of the second half before we started going off on random tangents in about how the Panthers approach the second half and about how they lift themselves after such a wonderful performance in the opening 45. It has dropped a level or two, hasn't it? Although it might change here.
It does, but they're still capable of getting bodies forward and they're still capable of hurting O'Connor Knights here. I mean, if O'Connor Knights spin it round and go and get a goal at the other end, it gives us a bit of a grandstand finish. But at the moment, they're not challenging the Monaro Panthers enough. They're not being brave enough in the final third. And if you're winning 4-2, then, you know, like I say, you're one goal away from turning this into a pretty fiery end to the game.
And that might be indicative of where the Panthers have been for some parts of this season. A game that should have been out of sight a while ago could, and we emphasise could because it will need a Knights goal, end up being, well, as Alex Ferguson would say, squeaky bum time. John. Driscoll was driving through the middle.
Frank Casey was suggesting it could be 10, but maybe he still wants his statue outside Stryda Park that he's still not been given.
Here's a chance for Kreskas, and he's bearing down. This would finish it, and it has done. But it took one pass in the end, and Christian Kreskas got away, and he's probably put the points to bed. Off the bench, on the score sheet, 5 for the Panthers.
Well, it was a great pass. It was a good outlet from Christian Kreskas, but probably the best thing about the whole thing was his first touch that allowed him the more simple finish. And, yep, come on and had that impact as Christian Kreskas. And like I say, they still pile bodies forward, even later in the game, Monaro, and they've got the rewards for that.
Super finish for Kreskas, his 4th of the campaign. And any hopes that O'Connor had of actually getting back into this have been well and truly dashed. There's Josip Oida. Obeid. McLaren.
Well, that pretty much seals it. I think it's signalling the end of the night for some of the supporters who've got younger kids here. It's gone a little bit cold, the rain started to come down. And after a very bright day, the weather's just turning a little bit miserable.
Yeah, just a bit of a threat of rain in the air. It's a very composed finish from Christian Kreskas.
Yeah, did it go through the goalkeeper's legs?
Just checking back that now, I think it did. Just a little nutmeg on the goalkeeper. A lovely little pass. I think it was the pass might have been from Conor Minott-Smith again to put him through. It's a lovely turn in that ball.
Yeah, it was Conor Minott-Smith, wasn't he? He's turned away into space, what we always try and get young players to do, recognise where the space is, turn away from pressure, and once there he had the switch, and Christian Kreskus had all the time in the world to roll the ball into the back of the net.
Never looked like missing once he was bearing down on goal.
He did then, though.
Tried to steer that one towards the far post, wasn't quite on for him. But he can be forgiven as his team rack up a 5th.
Teaching at John Paul College in Gungahlin now is Christian Kreskus. Had a spell at Radford.
What does he teach, do you know?
PE, I think.
Okay. Finishing in one-on-one, perhaps.
That's what might be doing on Monday, yeah. They've got quite a decent school football team, to be fair. Quite a lot of Gungahlin United players playing there.
Free kick for a foul on Robert Kachenko. With a substitute order. Ten minutes to go. As Ian said, the atmosphere diluted somewhat by the fact that the Panthers seem home and hosed. Place to be for goals, the NPL Canberra today. 8 of them at the AIS, 7 of them at Stryda Park. Maybe not if you're a purist who likes defensive clean sheets.
Too many goals today, Russ. Too many goals.
There can never be too many goals. Actually, that's not true. McLaren. McLaren again. Russ back and forwards. Picked up by Driscoll. Couldn't link up with Cerruti.
Having said that, one of the greatest games I ever saw live was Liverpool against Newcastle, which finished 4-3, which Liverpool scored in the last minute.
Is that Liverpool 4-3-1 or 2? Because they did it again the following year, didn't they?
Yeah, 1. It was the 1, but they did, didn't they?
With Stan Collymore, the first one.
Stan Collymore, yeah.
And Kevin Keegan being all dejected on the advertising hoardings at Anfield. Yeah, they did it again the following year, I believe. A famous Premier League game in the mid-90s.
Mid-90s, yeah.
1990, I'd say 95-6 season, perhaps. Cerruti. It's good to say when Manchester United end up winning the league, but they seem to do it an awful lot back then. Less so these days. Heggie went for the near post.
Marco Guys just defended him into the wide area, made it very difficult for Heggie to get his shot off. Didn't really trouble Mehmetaj too much.
Meanwhile, there's the attacking emphasis of his game. Barac in behind Bill, who got away with it, so then Barac has won it back. Is this the hat-trick moment? And then he lost his bearings.
Well, that's what he was going for, and there's a few hands up, Robert Kachenko, Conor Minott-Smith, but for a player who's scored 2 goals tonight and has the ball at his feet there, then...
Great turn, Minott-Smith. Twinkle toes through. Here is Barac. Denied by Brown. Firm save.
Good unselfish play from Conor Minott-Smith, because he could have gone and scored himself.
A couple of times he's done that today. Tried to feed it on the last player when he's been in a shooting position. He's got 5 in 5. Doesn't need any more, does he?
Made a great start upon his return.
John's ball in. That's not bad. Overhead kick.
That's the Di Franceschi zone. That once did a overhead kick in training, did Adam, and he put himself out for about a month by damaging his every part of his body.
That's a bit foolish.
Yeah, he did. The thud that it made as he hit the surface was will never be forgotten by those Monaro players at training that night.
That was young Wishibraka, who snuck on when I wasn't looking. And number 20. Over on that far side. If he continues to put himself into positions like that, the young forward, he'll get himself some opportunities. Driscoll. Abid. Looking for a Heggie. Cerruti inside him. Ishibruka's in there too. Free kick won by the foul by McLaren. And the ball's kicked away by whoever that was. Was that Marco Gaia?
Having a look, yeah, it's Marco Gaia. He's got the yellow card there. Zach McLaren not happy that he's given the free kick away.
Well, again, by my calculations, that might be Marco Gaia's 4th yellow card of the season. If it is, he'll be suspended for Tuesday's game against the Tigers, and that's a silly way to get a 4th. Ahead of a game of that magnitude. They've been hot on that this season, the referees.
Yes, there have been several times, isn't there, when we've not only just seen a yellow, but also a second yellow's a red, and memorably at Queanbeyan City, just over the road, a couple of months ago.
Cerruti over the free kick. Sizable gap to the keeper's left. Couldn't get off the floor, comes off of the heels of Kreskas.
Looked like he was kicking a bowling ball, to be fair, didn't he? He didn't catch it at all well.
Into the final 5 as the rain is picking up across Stryda Park. John with a set piece into the near post, met at the near post and volleyed in clinically at the near post by Connor Bill. If that is a consolation, that's some consolation. 5 minutes to go, it's 5-3.
I'm just wondering why Gary Mamitage got himself caught behind both his own player and the O'Connor Knights player for that. He was so far towards his back post that any contact, and obviously that's what we saw, ends up in the back of the net. Clearly set up by O'Connor Knights. It was a great delivery and great volley from Connor Bill, but Gary Mamitage was nowhere near it.
Well, they won't go away here, will they, the Knights? Meanwhile, here's Kreskas at the other end. That deflection for Brown. Well, just the 16th goal in 2 Premier League games today, Ian. Does that make you shudder when I said that?
Absolutely.
McLaren.
What are we doing letting so many goals in?
Kreskas.
Not sure whether Maycor will be overly bothered. His team's got 5, haven't they? And you should be winning games when you're scoring that many. So,
well, most coaches are a sour bunch when it comes to conceding goals, and there will be moments where they'll go, yeah, we got 5, but we have conceded 3. And they'll need to tighten up a bit better as early as Tuesday night. But in the main, they've kept the Knights at arm's length, haven't they? But credit to O'Connor. Kept plugging away here.
Yeah, you're right. O'Connor have kept plugging away. Just Monaro look like they can just step up a gear and go and score again, though, don't they? And that's what it's looked like to me all evening.
Kreskas. Turn away. Nick Dahl's come back to help him. It's found Marco Gaia. Can't get away from Harry Martin. Kreskas again. Shapes the cross. Driscoll up. McLaren back. Oida couldn't get there. Kachenko can. And it's fair to say he's hit the football a little bit better than that normally. It's going to be a change for O'Connor Knights, their 3rd of the evening. Associate Heggie has run his race for the evening. And this is young Jack Yankee, who gets his 5th Premier League appearance. Sign of the future with the 3 subs in Josip Oida, Jack Yankee and Luka Ishibruka. Here's Kachenko.
Yeah, good recovery defending, good run by well, both players really. One attacking and one recovering well.
If you are a young forward like Yankee and Ishibruka coming into this side, you know, there's putting the pressure on your Cerrutis and your Heggies and trying to get some more minutes before the end of the season will stand them in good stead.
I just think you've got to embrace making these appearances regardless of the score. You do your best, and
Handball there against Fernando.
You do your best and you try and prove a point, regardless of what it's looking like for the team or the club at the time. Try and force yourself into the team and make an impression.
It's a very young-looking Knights team out there right at the moment.
But the boys who they put on the team sheet at the start of the game are bottom of the league, aren't they? So, I mean, really, with no relegation, there's nothing to lose.
Kachenko up against Oida. He's stuck to that nicely. Will be a corner for the Panthers, so into the final 30 seconds of the contest, in which, well, they've had it won, realistically, since about the 16th minute when they went 2-0 up, but they've never really had it completely under their control in terms of the final scoreline. Always had that 2-goal buffer, really, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. They've always looked comfortable.
They might get another here with Straub. That's taken a deflection, could have gone anywhere. Never looked like not winning.
No.
Yankee touch was okay, but clearance was good as well.
Defending from Zach McLaren. Recovered really well.
Chiruti up against Gaia. Harry Martin, who's done reasonably well in that unfamiliar right-back position. Chiruti won the header. Yankee, Martin to swing it into the box. Into stoppage time now. Lovely ball that from Straw. Barac has broken the offside trap here. Kachenko arriving at the moment on the far post. That's where it's pulled back towards. It's come for Kreskas. Really good challenge, Oida. Still there for Kachenko. And that's a cracking challenge from Ushabreker as well. Showing the defensive side of his game. McLaren finds Kachenko. Abid steps in. Is that another touch for Josh
Yes,
Eisler?
it is. He's had more touches than some of the O'Connor Knights forwards.
It's half a dozen now, isn't it?
He goes and puts himself in the box, and
Been an
it's a bit
absolute...
silly from Daniel Barac. Is he on a suspension as well?
Well, Daniel Barac has got 4 yellow cards already this season, so...
So no, he's missed that, Josh Eisler. Didn't get any help from his linesman over the other side.
Well, it's a drop ball, isn't it? So technically you can play it under the old laws.
It's not contested anymore, is it?
No, yeah, so I'm assuming that it's just unsporting behaviour. One of the referees will know, wouldn't they? O'Connor Knights have won themselves a corner. Almost 2 minutes into stoppage time. Might be the last chance for them to get themselves yet another goal. Haven't had problems scoring goals. They've scored at least once in 13 of the last 14 matches they've played. It's keeping them out that's been the issue. Flooded the box here, everyone bar 2 in.
Better ball than that, Michael.
Oida. John on the turn. Kachenko can bring it away. Barac is a willing runner, but even that's asking a fair bit of him. Nick Dahl. Strong challenge by Kreskas on Yankee. Martin couldn't keep it in. So Panthers worthy winners, Ian. It's hard to argue otherwise. So one more chance here for Barac to swing that towards Kachenko. Oida won the header. Only as far as mine at Smith. Set up a couple for the others. Has a go himself. And that'll do, says Josh Eisler. Whistle to the mouth. End of 90. And in the end, a comfortable victory for Monaro Panthers, who've scored 5 times with, let's be honest, haven't really hit the heights to do so. Haven't needed to.
Yeah, and in that second half, they played at 50-60%, didn't they? And we're right, the game was probably out of sight at half-time. They were fantastic in the first half, foot off the gas and a few changes in the second half, and perhaps preserving their energy for a huge game on Tuesday night.
Certainly will. It's been a day for goals, hasn't it? And the CPL, ANU 2, Blues 0, Juventus 2, Wagga 3, Olympic 2, Belconnen 4, Eagles 3, West Canberra 1. Over the AIS, there was 8 of them, Gungahlin 4. Tigers 4. Here there were 8 of them as well, but 5 of them went to Monaro Panthers. 2 for Daniel Barach, 1 for Connor Minott-Smith, 1 for Stevie Dominici, 1 for Christian Kreskas, 3 for the Knights. Connor Bill got 1, Jono Chiruti and Michael John as well. Thanks very much, Ian. We will see you on Tuesday, perhaps, in some capacity, whatever be the TDing or whatever you're doing. We will be right back here, Stryda Park, 7 o'clock kickoff for Panthers Tigers. Battle of the Big Cats, and it takes on even bigger connotations after today's results. The Panthers have moved themselves back into contention for the top spots. They've got the 3 points they needed. It's finished Monaro Panthers 5, O'Connor Knights 3.